Okay, everybody, we're switching gears. I will still come back to random number tables if time to do some other higher level things with it. But right now I want to make sure that we get through some basic probability information. Today it's the basic probability of one event happening. Basic probability of one event. Just rolling one dice, flipping one coin, picking one card. That's what we mean by one event. Okay? The notation for probability is a capital P with a parenthesis. And whatever you want, you put inside the parenthesis. You'll see what I mean when we get to some examples. The definition is number of wanted outcomes divided by number of possible outcomes. Or how many things do you want to have occur, or you're trying to get occur, divided by the total possible options that could occur. Okay? Your answer will always be between 0 and 1. They always make probability a decimal. It could be a percent. It could be a fraction, but typically it is a decimal. Okay? So it's always between, sorry, I forgot my N. It's always between 0 and 1. Or between 0% and 100%. But again, they usually use the decimal of 0.12. That would mean a probability of something happening 12% of the time. And also I want to mention that you associate probability with the word chance, not the word odds. Odds means something else. Probability is the chance something will occur. Odds is actually the comparison of something will happen to something will not happen. Probability, though, is the chance it will happen over the possible chance, total possible. Okay, our focus is going to be on coins, dice, and playing cards for the most part, but you should be able to connect this information with other stuff. First, for coins, possible events or possible options. When you flip a coin, your only possible option is head or tails. We abbreviate that as H or T. So when you flip a coin, there's only two possible options, two total possible options for flipping a coin. Okay? Now, again, back to the notation. Probability of H means what's the probability of flipping a head? Well, there's only one heads on a coin. There's two possible options, heads and tails. So your fraction is 1 over 2. There's one chance of getting a head, but there's two possibilities of heads or tails. So that's why, as you know, heads is a 50-50 chance or a 50% probability. 1/2, 50%, or 0.50 or 0.5. Most textbooks or most things you look at it as the decimal. So 0.5 means 50% or 1/2. Probability of a tail, well, again, there's one tail. So there's only one thing I want to flip that I'd be happy with, and that's a tail. But there's two possible options. So tails is 1/2, 50%, 0.5, or a 0.5 chance of flipping a tail. Okay? So it's how many things do I want to have happen over how many possible things are there. There's only one tail with two possibilities. Now let's look at dice, a single die, I should say. Possible events or possible options is you could roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. So there's 6 possible outcomes. That's your denominator. Okay, 6 possible outcomes. What's the probability I roll a 2? Well, there's only one 2 on the dice. There's 6 possibilities. So the only thing I would be happy with is rolling that 2. So there's only one wanted outcome over 6 possible outcomes. When you divide 1 by 6, you get 0.16666 repeating. That's just a coincidence. 1/2 isn't 0.1 repeating. But when you divide by 6, you do get 1/6 repeating, or 0.16 repeating, or 0.17 if you round it. Or you could call it a 17% chance, or a 0.17, or the exact answer is a 0.166 chance. What's the probability of rolling a 6? Well, again, there's only one 6 that I would be happy with. There's only one possible outcome I'm happy with, one wanted outcome, and that's a 6. But there's 6 possible outcomes. Remember, number of wanted outcomes divided by number possible. The only thing I want to roll is a 6, and there's only one chance to do that. 1/6, or again 1.1666, there's a 17% chance. And as you probably knew, you have the same probability of rolling a 6 as you do a 2. You have the same probability of rolling a 4 as you do a 1. Of course, in elementary school, the mistake people would make is they think the probability of rolling a 2 is 2 out of 6. They think the probability of a 6 is a 6 out of 6. Okay, but this is read, what's the probability of rolling something greater than 4? Well, the only thing greater than 4 that I would want to roll is a 5 or a 6. So there are 2 wanted outcomes. I would be happy with a 5 or a 6. So there's 2 wanted outcomes. There are still 6 possible outcomes. So I have a 1 in 3 chance of rolling something greater than a 4. So that's 33% or 0.33% probability or percent chance. Now, you can see the difference between this. The difference between a greater than or a greater than or equal to. Since this is greater than or equal to, that means I'm okay with a 4, 5, or 6. So now there are 3 possible outcomes, or 3 wanted outcomes, over 6 possible outcomes. So I have a 3 and 6, or a 1 and 2, or a 50% chance of rolling something 4 or more. Okay, that's the basic explanation. Now there are 4 questions at the bottom of the notes that I would like for you to do. What's the probability of rolling a tail on a coin? What's the probability of rolling a 5 on a dice? What's the probability of rolling something less than 2? And what's the probability of rolling a 0 or 1 on a dice? Okay. If you have any questions, email me. Thanks. Bye.